everybody, this is Dr. Leah Gibbons. I'm here to talk to you about some really exciting ideas and developments in the world of regeneration and regenerative projects. So a little bit about me. I have been in this field for over 25 years and I've been studying it, I've been practicing it, and I've been creating tools that you can use to help support your projects. And these include a regenerative development process tool and a regenerative evaluation tool, which then leads to a regenerative certification. So these can help your projects at every step of the way, from the inception all the way through its functioning, so that we know it is in fact regenerative. And this can help you get investors for your projects, because now they have third-party verification that your projects are in fact regenerative. So let's start with some really basic stuff. What does regeneration mean? Well, living systems, when humans are not altering their patterns, are regenerative. And this means that they are continually increasing in complexity, in health, and in well-being. Now, that may sound really simple, and the idea is simple, but how we actually do it is a little more complex, because how do you know if a system is healthy? How do you gauge its well-being? How do you gauge its complexity? So these are things the regenerative development process that I've created, as well as the evaluation tool, can help you know. So I have created, like I said, a suite of tools to help people with their projects. Everything from, you as an individual, how can you be regenerative in your world, up to the community scale, creating regenerative communities, up to regenerative bioregions, and even the world, which is very exciting. The power of this idea of regeneration is that living systems, when they are going through these cycles of increasing health and wellness and complexity, they're not isolated systems. So they're not within some small system that is the focal point of this process. This process cascades up scale. So if you're increasing in health and well-being and complexity at your project level scale, to be regenerative, you have to be increasing the health and well-being of the next two larger scales that your project is a part of. So in other words, let's take a really simple example. Me as an individual, if I want to be regenerative, I have to think about my role within my family and within my larger community. And am I increasing the health and well-being of those next two scales up? Okay, if you're looking into building, let's say, is the building increasing the health and well-being of maybe the neighborhood block and then the larger neighborhood it's a part of? Okay, these scales are going to be different for every project, but that's the idea. And so you can see the power, because regenerative projects catalyze health and well-being across scales. And when we're doing this at larger and larger scales, we can regenerate the world. So there are regenerative principles of living systems, and you can easily look at these and tell if your project is regenerative right off the bat. And if you're not aligned to these principles, then you know your project's not regenerative, and we can help you align your project to these principles and be regenerative. And by we, I'm talking about the Regenerative Living Institute that I have created to help people do this work in the world and transform the world to thrivability once again. And I'll give you the website here in just a minute. Also, this tool contains the regenerative characteristics of living systems. All right, so then we have characteristics we can look at to see if we're in alignment with those. And the tool also includes strategies and then indicators, all right, for whether or not our project is regenerative. So these last two categories are things that we create with you to be specific for your project. And there are some generalities we can look at to help guide us in our specific indicators and strategies. And again, we're going to go back to those regenerative characteristics and principles. But for each project, these are going to be very specific, because everything is place-based in regeneration. Everything has to be rooted in place, and again, be benefiting not just that project, but the next two larger scales it's a part of. So you can see how it has to be place-based. Okay, so I'm going to end here, and there will be future videos where I explain more about these things, but I want you to know that the certification system exists. And for now, we are still getting our Regenerative Living Institute website all buttoned up. And that should be ready in the next few days. In the meantime, you can go to our sister organization's website, and that is Koru Collaborative. And so Koru Collaborative is our for-profit sister company that helps to actually build certain projects and manifest certain projects. And once you go to that site, you can click on what is regenerative. You'll see that at the tabs across the top. And you can learn more about what I've been talking about today, more about the principles and characteristics, and get in touch to learn more about how to certify your project. You'll see how to contact me on there. And check back to the regenlive.org for when that site is up and going. All right, thanks.